Well, hello, and welcome to AA Beyond Belief, the podcast. I'm your host, John S. Today I'll be speaking with Dianne P., chair of WAAFT IAAC, an international convention for agnostics, atheists, and freethinkers in AA that will be held in Austin, Texas from November 11th through the 13th. This is an event I promise you that you will not want to miss. Well, hey, Dianne, how you doing? Welcome. I'm glad that you could be here to talk about the upcoming convention in Austin.
I'm happy to be here. Thanks, John.
So tell me, you are the chair of WAAFT IAAC?
I am.
And for those people that don't know what WAAFT IAAC is, what is it?
It's We Agnostics, Atheists, Freethinkers, International AA Convention.
And I know that happened to start with Dorothy H., Pam W., and Jonathan. And they had their first one in Santa Monica in 2014, which I know we were both at that convention.
That's right.
Yeah. And so this will be the second one. That first one, for me, Dianne, that was an amazing experience. I thought that was the best AA convention I'd ever been to. There was so much excitement there about starting meetings and, helping get people involved and aware of secular AA. And it just seemed like a really nice, safe, fun atmosphere.
It really was. When you said the word safe, it made me think that some people were scared that perhaps there'd be fundamentalist AA type coming and doing a petition against us. But there was nothing like that. And once we all started filing in and we were all of the same, similar minds and opinions and non-beliefs, it's so many people even tearing up saying, I've been wanting something like this all my life. And they were so grateful. And you're right, it was Dorothy and Pam and Jonathan three people doing the work of many, and there were a lot of people on the ground helping out too, but they spearheaded it.
So that's quite something to build on. So how's it going for the planning in Austin?
It's going well. We had a slow period there, I would say, because a lot of personalities on the board, and it's like any other AA, I would say, business meeting that's where the struggles come. People,
right.
I think what it is everyone has their passion, and so they're on the board because they might have one special interest passion, and it's very important for them to get that heard. And when there's a limited number of spots to get that heard on in the program, that it can become quite passion-filled discussions, let's say.
Well, passion's a good word to put on it, because I think people really are passionate about this whole thing, and that I think really kind of started in Santa Monica when we were all together in one place. And what's interesting though is that, like you said, everybody we're all different. I mean, there's so many different shades and varieties of us. If you'll call us WAFs, some of us like the steps, some of us don't like the steps, some of us want this, that. So there's a lot to do at a convention when you have people with such a diverse attitude about the program and everything. That's
right. And I think what bottom line is what we did try to keep, but it didn't always work, but the bottom rule was inclusivity, and to keep it as wide open to as many people as we could. So that includes the partners or spouses of the alcoholic and addict. And it's an open meeting, so anybody can come. You don't have to be identified as an alcoholic. You can be NA, CA, Al-Anon, and whatever you want. But we did try to we're keeping the speakers as alcoholics,
as AA people. Yes. That's nice.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, and that was, some people didn't quite like the Reverend Ward Ewing. People came in just to see his talk. This is 2 years ago, and his CD was the most frequently purchased one, but there were people who were vehemently opposed to having somebody a man of the cloth at an agnostic convention. But others of us really loved hearing what he had to say, because he is such a strong supporter of AA, and he doesn't think, for instance, that the Lord's Prayer should be said in AA meetings.
Yeah, he's definitely a friend of ours. And plus, he was a trustee on the board of Alcoholics Anonymous, so I think he definitely had a place there. Plus, they had Phyllis H., who was the general manager of GSO at the time. So that was pretty interesting. I just loved the speakers there.
Me too.
So what's going to be the basic format? Is it going to be similar to what we experienced in Santa Monica, like what you do the first day, second day?
It is. In fact, one of us had our old program all marked up with our sketches to forward to, scanned in and sent to the rest of the board to see how it was done. And so for example, there'll be panels, workshops, and guest speakers. And the panels are, I think, typically 90 minutes with four people sitting on them, facilitated by one person. They'll each of the four will talk a bit about their topic, and then it'll be opened up to the audience to ask questions.
Oh, okay.
One panel off the top of my head is a literature table, and so some authors will be on that, and an editor, and then we'll have different types, and then we'll have and that one took some work because some people didn't want one of the people, and others of us did, and again, now that we kind of got the main speakers and kind of some passionate ones out of the way, and sometimes we win and sometimes we lose, that I think the rest is we can't wait to open it up to the public and start soliciting for workshops to be filled and forward to that. So it'll open up with a bit of an address by each board member. Very, very briefly, we'll say what we do and welcome everybody. And then I think it's one of the speakers, and then launching into panel of what WAAFT is. And I'd have to look at the agenda to think of too much more, but that's the general gist of it.
So the first day is pretty much, and I kind of remember that. See, I missed most of the first day last time because I was traveling to get there. But the last time, I think the first day they had like fellowship speakers, and then they had a business meeting, and I made it to the business meeting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there will be a business meeting, and you see an afternoon with the atheists is again. So there's hardcore atheists, there's freethinkers, there's even people who go to church but are non-believers. So really a mixture of everybody.
Yeah.
We just want to, as I said, include all, and so that everybody can find recovery and stay in recovery.
That's what I liked about the last one. I was surprised and actually honored when they asked me to do like a workshop or something. I thought, who am I? But it was really, I honestly enjoyed that. So I think that getting other people involved is really what makes the thing fun and more like AA, so. So when you have I understand what the panels are, and I know I went to a few of them in Santa Monica. I probably went to more workshops, but what's a workshop like as opposed to a panel?
The workshops will be 50 minutes or 60 minutes long, probably 50 minutes, so you have time to go in between rooms, and it's up to the person how he or she wants to deliver it. I did one 2 years ago, and I did a little 5-minute. Maybe let's say a 5-minute introduction, but I really wanted it to be participatory, so I opened it up to the room very quickly, and I had some questions prepared, and I asked for feedback, almost like a facilitated group meeting, and it really went well. I'm sorry, not trying to brag, but people seemed pleased by it. They were interested. We had to close it up, and we could have still kept talking, and some people did come up and say that they enjoyed it. Others will take the workshop, and it is more of a lecture style where they've learned a lot, and maybe they're showing all the steps on how to start a meeting, allowing questions along the way. Or there have been some that are maybe 4 people in a workshop, and each is telling their story. There's newcomers to AA, and each one of them would just give 15 minutes on their story, what it was like, what happened.
That's kind of like the one I was doing. I did the Midwestern Founders Panel. So I was in there with 4 people, I think, that started groups in the Midwest. And so we each talked about starting our group, and then we just had a discussion, and people were asking us questions. It was kind of fun.
It's a yoga and recovery workshop. I think I'll be going to that one. And I know there's some talk on, there's one on slogans, and there's one on media, like using the computer. And I don't remember exactly what it's like, but the person who designed our website, WAAFT IAAC.org, Mikey, he did a very splashy, fun website.
Did a fantastic job with that.
He's going to be doing a workshop, something computer related, and I'll be going to that.
Good. Yeah. He's very talented.
Yeah. Oh, and some of the legal stuff is going to be talked about. I know the States has someone represented it, and then we have someone who we're going through in Toronto, a the problem with the 3
Yeah.
delisted groups. So Larry Kay has been invited to talk about what's happening there, and who knows, maybe there will even be a settlement by the time the
Yeah. That will
convention
be
is.
very
I,
interesting. That will be very well attended, I'm
yeah,
sure. If people want to know what the convention is like and what workshops are like, you can go to WAAFT.org, and we have a lot of the convention tapes on that website, and you can click on like the YouTube channel, or you can just go to YouTube and search for WAAFT Central, WAAFT Central, and all of those workshops and panels and speakers are on tape, on recorded there on YouTube. So you can go listen to them, and it'll give you an idea, of flavor of what the convention will be like.
excellent. Yes, and I think there's more to come, isn't there? I don't think it's a complete set, but eventually they'll all be up there.
And let's see. So Austin, Texas. I've never been there, but I hear it's a pretty nice place. And we're going to be at this hotel. Do you know much about that hotel?
I don't. What I do know is that we do get a special rate for, there's so many rooms set aside, and it's $99 a night. And the more who sign up, the better I think our rate for paying for the whole thing overall becomes. Mm-hmm. So, but if you know you're going, it's best to sign up as quickly as you can.
Okay. So it's better to get signed up sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. I do know that it's the location. You know, if you're any city, if you're right downtown, the rooms are much more expensive. Or if you're at the airport, it's more expensive. So this is a bit in the middle of, let's say, nowhere. I don't know that much about it, but that way we got a lot cheaper rates. But there's one night. I believe they're going to either suggest something for tourists to do, have it to ourselves instead of convention work, or they'll either suggest it or they'll organize it for us. And there'll be a shuttle bus, or there'll be some, or taxis, or anyway, it's not like we're stuck in the middle of nowhere,
right,
with nothing to do. We will be taken care of. There's lots of food places, I know that.
Well, I think it's, I remember in Santa Monica, I never saw anything outside. I was happy just to be at the church at the convention. I hardly ever saw anything else but Santa Monica Boulevard walking back to my hotel. And I kind of like how everything, I guess, because the convention and all the workshops and panels will be at the same hotel where we'll be staying then. Mm-hmm. So that's really nice.
It is. So you really don't have to leave. And as for those of us who have been to a lot of conventions, often you don't really have the chance if there are many things, or you're so exhausted that when you do have a night off, you want to put your feet up and just collapse.
It'll be interesting to see what my wife wants to do, because she's never actually been to an AA thing before, an AA conference. Oh. She might actually be really interested in it. I took her to an open meeting once, and she found that fascinating. So she might actually really like it. But if she doesn't, she'll just go off and explore Austin, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Well, I hope she does that. And if she was that fascinated by an AA meeting, I think this is even better. Oh, and there is going to be, again, the marathon running AA meetings, one after another after another. So if she wants to, you can put her in 24 hours in that.
There you go.
But I do have to say, I love her because of when you guys went on vacation, and she had the cat food sign for the person. And the dog food sign, and where the treats are for the animals, because that was pretty cool.
So, okay. Well, I think we're getting a pretty good idea of how this thing is gonna turn out. I'm pretty excited about it. After that convention in Santa Monica, okay, I didn't know you, I didn't know anybody really in Agnostic AA. Then we all go to Santa Monica, but then we come back from that convention, and we all kind of stayed in touch online. We got on our WAAFT Central Coffee Shop on Facebook and other ways that we all kind of stayed in communication with each other, which is really kind of cool, because now we have this community, so that when we go to Austin, we're going to see each other again, and we're going to know each other. Whereas last time we all just met for the first time.
That's right.
Now, what's going to be really cool, I think there's going to be a heck of a lot more people in Austin than we had in Santa Monica. And I know that you're going to get the same kind of excitement coming out of Austin as you did in Santa Monica. And I think that you're going to see more groups start, because that's what happened after Santa Monica. And it's just, and our community is going to grow. Because you're going to have, you're going to see more Facebook groups, all this kind of stuff happening. And we're just going to be very well connected like we have been. So I think that this convention is kind of good for Alcoholics Anonymous in the long run, because it gets people excited about the fellowship, and about, helping people and starting meetings and all of that. So.
It really does.
Well, Dianne, you're doing good work, and the board is doing good work. We're grateful to your service. If there's anything that we can do here at AA Beyond Belief to help, we definitely want to do that. We can send out emails and anything you want, we can do to help get the word out. So you just let us know.
I will. I think we're 1 to 2 weeks away from wanting to start mass advertising, or if not 1 to 2 days, I'm not sure, but we're ready to rock and roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. Wow.
I really appreciate the chance to update and let people know. I know I've even heard it this weekend that, you're not going to make it. We're going to make it. We're going to make it happen.
We're going to make it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Schedule's going. The hotel is reserved, and it's really exciting. It's coming together.
Good. Well, thank you, Dianne.
You're welcome.
Well, that's it for another episode of AA Beyond Belief, the podcast. We will ask Dianne to join us again to give us further news and information about this exciting convention as it becomes available. So stay tuned.